Hey, welcome. This is It Came from GenX. We welcome you to our show, our little humble podcast / video. I am Keith Porter, a.k.a. Porterhouse, along with my brothers in arms, Michael Skinbone Skinner and Brian the Fishbone Fisher. And I missed you guys last week. Thank you for towing the line, but I got to say it feels good to get back. So good to see you guys. What's going on, Skinner?
Oh, we're just getting ready for vacation here at the end of the week.
Take me
nice
with you.
long break that we need after the last 3 months we've had.
Oh my God, yeah. I think we all need a little something. Yeah.
So, yep, I'll be missing next week's show with you guys, but I'll be thinking about you, sort of.
Okay. I'm actually gonna get away myself a little bit. Head down to Kentucky for a writing session with one of my bands, the Diamond Phillips band. So I'm looking forward to that. Just to get away, have an adventure, and it'll do me worlds of good. So I understand.
Not staring at those same four walls will do wonders for you.
Yes, right now. Fish, what's going on, my man?
Hey, brother, we did miss you last week, and we talked about it on the episode. I know you know that, but just to say while you're here, it was a beautiful service for your mom. Everybody did a great job. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you. That means so much.
It doesn't tell you that directly. So,
and everything having you guys here. I had said in the text, I know I don't owe you guys explanation, but to our listening audience, I was so burnt Monday night in the frame of mind I was in. I just couldn't do anything. So it was surreal when the whole family had been here for so many days, and Monday everybody left at one time, it seemed like. And it was like a blanket of silence fell over the house, and it freaked me out.
Sure.
I mean, it was eerie. It was scary. I didn't want to be here, but I didn't want to be nowhere else. It was crazy. So, anyway, how has your week been?
Mine was good. I had a nice. Actually, I spent a lot of time with buddy Dean. I do Convincing Idiots with, and his lovely girlfriend Megan. So I went out with Dean and Megan on. Poor Allie was not feeling well, so. That's okay. She's better now. She stayed in and got some rest, and we went out to dinner and hung out on Friday, and then I saw them again last night. Went out to see the new Nick Cage movie and also dinner again. So we'll talk about that during the episode here. So, yeah, it's very nice.
I look forward to hanging with Dean and Megan again.
Yep.
And I certainly look forward to hooking up with you, Dean and Nick, on Convincing Idiots. That was a blast. So.
Absolutely. Whenever you want to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to get both shows doing a week.
Sure.
Maybe a continuation from one to the other. That would be
that's a smart idea. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. So if you guys haven't heard Convincing Idiots, another podcast Fisher does, it is basically a pop culture setting. Very funny. The guys are just being themselves. And if you know all three of them, that's saying a mouthful. So it is a great show, very funny, and insightful. If the world of pop culture, movies, comics, it is very insightful. Everybody has a lot of insightful stuff to say, and that's what I enjoyed about it the most. So check out Convincing Idiots, guys. Great show.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. So, guys, at the end of the month, by the way, so end of May, we'll plan ahead. The Star Wars will be out 45 years this year. So we're planning another Star Wars episode. Yeah.
No.
So might be an episode you guys join us for that. So we'll talk about that offline. So, yep.
That sounds great. Okay.
Crazy.
Well, been looking forward to tonight, getting back to the show. Don't have a lot to cover personally, and Skinner and I are going to do a one subject thing so we can let Fish take the brunt, so we'll do commentary on that. But there is a lot going on. Even though it's pop culture, it's under Fish's purview. Some of it dabbles into the music world and other things like that, but it's a lot going on. So let's just get this sucker started. Want to give a big shout out to the man, the boss, Michael Skinner Jr. We are just glowing with pride. He's out in California doing some producing. and we're just really excited about where he's going. Just an extraordinary young man, and we look forward to him coming back home and telling us all about his adventure. So shout out to him and shout out to our man Gustavus Dominic, who is we just wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So we don't take those things lightly. All right, guys, ready to do a show?
Let's do it.
All right, Run DMC. Go ahead, buddy. Oh yeah, tell them where they can find the show, my man. 1 week. 1 week, and I'm out of practice. See there?
That's all right.
This is what happens when you take time off.
See?
Let this be a lesson.
Yep. Get rusty already. So, so you might be listening to us, everybody out there, on WMVU.org, Global Internet Radio, Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Just pull up their site, play live, listen, and you can listen to us right there if you would like. They also have other fine content with other podcast shows and music and all kinds of good stuff for free. Listen to us whenever you want to, on demand. We're out there on many podcast platforms, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Verbal, Overcast, and many more. Just pull up our show there. It came from GenX. Give us a subscribe or a follow. And as we publish new episodes, they'll pop in your podcast feed for free. Listen to us whenever you want to. You can also listen to us right on our Facebook page. Subscribe to us right there. There's a podcast version there. Facebook at It Came From GenX. All show links, including our YouTube channel, It Came From GenX, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff can be found in two main places. Our Linktree account, to search Linktree, It Came From GenX, and it'll be simply a page that comes up with links to our social media and where you can listen to us. Also, our website, It Came From GenX, one word, .wordpress.com. All show information's there. Links to also where you can listen to us, links to episodes, videos, promos, and if you are so inclined and wish to sponsor the show, our Patreon account can be found via our website as well, patreon.com/itcamefromgenx. So if you like our stuff out there, give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe, tell a friend. It means more than you know, and we appreciate your support out there.
Yes, we do. Now, guys, we talked about a little while back about maybe, I don't want to call it an endorsement, but just speaking on perhaps some of the wonderful people or businesses or establishments that we might frequent. Sure. And we don't do it every week, but from time to time we'll do that. I don't have anybody in specific, but I got to tell you about a product. And very seldom does a product blow my mind away enough that I want to mention it on this show. Mm-hmm. But I had got to the point where I could not get my day started without my cup of coffee. And it started to bother me because I wanted to eliminate caffeine completely from my diet. And I started seeing these advertisements for mud water. Have you guys seen that?
I have seen those on YouTube, yeah.
I watched it for months, kept watching the tutorials, the videos, the ads, and I said, you know what? I'm going to send away for the starter kit. Now, tell you right off the bat, it's a little pricey. The starter kit's $40. But you get a container of the mud water. It's like a powder. It looks like dirt. You get a few extra ingredients they give you, and you get the frother, which is really an amazing tool. It's chargeable. You stick it down in there, and it blends it up.
Okay.
Boil your water. Put in a teaspoon of the mud water. Add whatever you like to add. I put in a little bit of flavored cream, stick the frother in, blends it up. And I'll tell you what, man, I don't know if I'll ever drink a cup of coffee again. I absolutely love it. All the ingredients are for your immunity, energy, mental clarity, energize you all day. It only has a 1/7 of caffeine as a normal cup of coffee. I had 2 cups today. I could not get enough of it, man. I can't wait to wake up to have me a cup of mud water. So if you're a coffee drinker, you want to try something different, I urge you to give mud water a try. Tastes like spicy latte.
I may have to. I drink like a pot a day.
Oh man, yeah. Give this a shot. Give this a shot. Okay, all right. Let's get this ball cooking. Skimbo, take it away, brother.
All right, so we are going to travel to Brazil for my story today.
Brazil.
We need Brasilia. Yes, sir. Mr. Walter Orthman. Happy belated birthday to him. He turned 100 years old back on April 19th, which happens to be Miss Marcy's birthday. Now, that's just the start of this story. Mr. Orthman turned 100 years old. In January, he celebrated his 84th anniversary with his work. This man has worked for the, let's see, it's a textile company called Renew View, Reneaux, and then View, View. He started January 17th, 1938, because he could speak German. He had a familiarity with the German language. They hired him at 15 years old. He then went into sales and became the sales manager like 1937. I'm sorry, early 1940s. And he's been their sales manager since the early 1940s. Now, this man, I'm just fascinated with this guy. Reading the story and listening to this, 100 years old, the man still works every single day, goes in, does his job, comes home. Here's a quote that I want to give you guys, and I'll let you guys chime in on this. This is a direct quote from Mr. Orthman. I don't do much planning, nor care much about tomorrow. All I care about is that tomorrow will be another day in which I wake up, I get up, I exercise, and I go to work, my favorite place on earth. You need to get busy with the present, not the past or the future. Here and now is what counts most in in life. That passage there that came from this man, you know, they always say wise men, you should always listen to him. This guy, everything he had to say just absolutely sent chills down my spine listening to this. So happy birthday to Mr. Orthman. It's incredible that he's been at a job for 84 years and still enjoys going every single day. We could only hope to be at a job for 10 or 15 years and still enjoy going every single day. Know what I mean?
Sure.
It looks like we may have lost Mr. Porter here for a quick second. Get your thoughts on this story, Brian.
No, I think it's great. I think it's bless his heart. So again, like you say, we definitely extend our wishes out there to him. Yeah, it's just that's a beautiful thing. Just the fact that to be around at that age, and let alone still able to get up and go to work, and yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it definitely seems like work gives him a sense of purpose. They give him a something he looks forward to still do, which is very fortunate to do. And a great quote. Yeah, it's something that I need to work on myself. I know it's something that Allie gets, she has to remind me of often, to just sit here, enjoy the present. Don't worry about what's going to happen even later today or tomorrow for a minute. And I definitely could stand to learn from, dwelling on the past sometimes as well, rethinking of, we could have done better, or this or that and the other, or just it can be very exhausting mentally. So great advice from that man.
Wow.
Keith, what do you think?
Well, the only thing I was coursing through my mind, other than it was a wonderful story. It just reminded me of my mom. 84 years of age, never. I mean, you guys were both at my mom's service. You heard some of the stories was telling. Never stopped working. Even 2 days before she passed, I had to stop her from doing stuff, and she was a testament to that old school strength, that old school work ethic. And I used to tell her, if I grow up to be half as tough as you, I'll be okay, you know. Something that you don't see today. So that's what I was getting out of that. It is something remarkable to behold. I know everybody's different. Everybody's got their own problems and issues, but it does say something towards the capabilities of the human spirit, which can drive the body itself. If the mind and spirit are strong. That's all that was coming to my mind when I heard that. But what a great story.
Absolutely, guys. Yeah, this, like I said, if you take anything away, do a job that's not considered a job. Do something that you enjoy and get paid at the same time.
That would be idea, yeah.
That's the goal to go for. All right, guys, that's all I got.
Yeah, I walk out of drum lessons sometime and going, wow, I got paid for that. You know, I love the kids, and now I have one adult student, and she's just fantastic. We had the most incredible time tonight, you know, that I never would have imagined that I would earn such a great friend. She's in her early 60s and doing so well, but we had a lesson today on an emotional level. So you watched the eulogy from last weekend, and it was just an amazing exchange and prayer together. And it's like, wow, I got to check for this, you know. So yeah, that's the key. That is the key to a little bit of longevity and a happy life. I know some people, they're depressed every day at work. And some of them, it's a frame of mind. Sure. I know somebody complains every single day at work. And I'm like, I would kill for your job. You earn buku bucks. You leave whenever you feel like it. I got this appointment, that appointment. No, the boss loves you. You get away with murder. The boss calls you on a personal level. You get to dress nice every single day. But just never happy. So sometimes it's just a frame of mind. You know, you might not have the most ideal job, but hey, change your frame of mind. Say, I'm going to do the best and I'm going to love it while I'm here. And you never know.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It was said, and I believe it might have been the first George Bush. I can't remember. But somebody said that if a man is a street sweeper, he should live his life and do his job. So that day comes when he dies, all the angels in heaven will sing, now there goes the street sweeper.
Martin Luther King Jr. had a similar comment like that too. But yeah, no, but it's still the same point.
Same idea, right?
Yep.
We all get that point.
Yep.
Thank you, Skinner. Okay. Okay, guys. Some little sports and music. Starting with sports, we all know what the big story was. The NFL draft was this weekend. The coverage of the draft is starting to be ad nauseum. They start months early. I'm so sick of the mock drafts. I don't know what to do. I am still waiting for somebody to explain to me the purpose of a mock draft. You don't know anything more than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? You might know something about the players we don't know, but a mock draft is the dumbest thing to me, and I just get tired of it. They almost ruin the excitement of the actual draft. It's just become a show unto itself now.
Sure. Ratings.
Yeah, it is amazing what the draft has become. And, of course, a lot of that is owed to Todd McShay, but mostly Mel Kiper Jr.
Yeah.
Who has taken it was his idea to make a show out of it, and it has become something. This draft featured musical performances from Ice Cube. You had Chris Angel performing a trick that looked really stupid, by the way. And all sorts of things going on. Of course, a host of bevy of NFL greats coming out, actors, all sorts of different things. Of course, it was in Las Vegas, so you know you had your pick of the litter. So, guys, I just thought real quick we could talk about there's so many aspects of the draft, especially the last 15 years where it's become a show. And we know some of the great draft moments. Some of my favorites are, of course, the original one before it became a show. Who the hell is Mel Kiper? That was great. That was a great moment. And of course, people like to make fun of Brady Quinn being sitting in the dressing room, Aaron Rodgers, yada, 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 yada. But there's a lot of things that happen with the draft you start to see become commonplace nowadays. Some of the things I don't like. I'm sick of seeing the player sitting there at home on the couch with his whole family around him, and his girlfriend is sitting there. No. You don't belong there.
Oh, the girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go in the back somewhere. You've been there, a year, 2 years or something? Probably because you knew the guy's going to NFL. That's mama's moment. Mama who took you to practice every day. Mama who bought you all your stuff or whatever. That's mom and dad's moments. I've always loved and appreciated how practical Mary Beth is. And she used to tell me when we watched the draft together, I wouldn't even be there. That'd be for you and your mom. I was like, thank you for saying that. But there's some great things about the draft too, guys. And I thought we just real quick over what is it that your favorite part about the modern day draft that you like? I'll start first and kind of set the tone how I'm thinking here. My favorite part is the stories. They research these kids, and just every year you get one story that, man, if it doesn't do nothing to you, you're not alive. I can't remember anything this year too much, but last year, Kwity Paye, I believe he went to the Indianapolis Colts, if I'm not mistaken. Born in Lagos. Him, his mom, I think a couple of siblings running from gunfire and bombs to another country. And to watch them and where they were, and his mom couldn't have been any cuter. She had on her traditional Nigerian, garb. She was as cute as can be. Her face and his face when that dude got selected early in the draft was going from poverty, third world country, running for your life to about to be a millionaire. That to me, that's the American dream. That was just the most beautiful thing I ever saw. And that's my favorite part about the draft, the stories. There was one kid that was sleeping in his car. He was a walk-on, had to earn a scholarship after being there and working his butt off for years. And now all of a sudden he's got a shot at the NFL. Stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking. Fish, we'll start with you. What's your favorite part about the modern day draft?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's exact same thing. I love to hear in any type of story somebody that achieves success, whatever it is, and just to hear people, the sheer determination and sacrifice that themselves and their families had to go through to put themselves and put their child in a position of potential success. Then when you see it pay off, the odds are so incredibly against it.
Oh my God! Yes.
But when you see it pay off like that, the excitement and the family is, like you say, it's really that's really a special moment right there, and the family really being excited. That is clearly the best part. All the analysis, all that crap. I'm with you. I'm just like I'm not interested. I'm just not into it like that. But like you say, the human stories behind it is
I don't care
really
how
nice.
fast somebody wearing a 40-yard dash. I like to see a person's dream come true. If you want to hit a real recent story, and I know we spoke on this before, but this one hits home. Our own beloved Dwayne Haskins.
Sure.
I mean, gosh, what a story to see a kid, 10 years old, wearing a number 7 Ohio State jersey, walking around the Ohio State locker room in awe and being asked, what are you going to be when you grow up? I'm going to be the quarterback of the Ohio State Buckeyes. And boom, his dream came true wearing number 7. Boy, that's special. Skinner?
Yeah, it absolutely is. You're talking about the draft, and it brings back, I may have even talked about this. It's a movie called Greater, Greater. It's about Brendan Burlsworth. He was a draftee from the Colts, In 1999, unfortunately, he didn't make it to training camp. He was killed in a car accident. But there's a movie on Netflix called Greater. It tells his story about a kid from Arkansas, is a walk-on defensive lineman, ends up getting drafted in, I can't remember if it was a first or second round through the Colts. But it's that kind of story that you're talking about, the stories that you hear of these incredible kids. A lot of times we'll say these players, they're overprivileged, overpaid, spoiled brats. But then there's those that have the stories that just make you go, he deserves to be making the money he's making. He deserves to be on the field because of the work and the character and everything that he did. There's the one guy that plays for the Browns. I can't remember his name. Maybe it was Johnson, who was selling stuff on the streets down in Miami when he finally said, I'm going to make it in the NFL. And he called every team in the league, and the Browns finally said, you can come up and, try out, basically. And the guy made the team. It's stories like that I love to hear about when it comes to the draft. And that can go for any sport, not just football.
You're on mute, brother.
My apologies. Yeah, absolutely, Skidder. And then you can see great things happening each year in the draft. What a year for the University of Georgia.
Sure.
My goodness, yes.
Two shy of the record, I believe. Or did they hit it? I'm not sure. But 15 was the last count I saw. 15 players sent to the NFL. They made 15 millionaires off of that squad last year that won the national championship. I think that's just absolutely remarkable. I think if you got a Georgia defensive player, your team just got better. I don't know why the Green Bay Packers did not maneuver early in the draft to get a good wide receiver. But they got a guy who's pretty good. But they did take 2 back-to-back Georgia defensive players. I think that is going to bode so well for their football team. What a recruitment tool if you're Kirby Smart. We sent 15 players to the NFL last year, So little things like that. And each year there's its own little thing that you can see happen. And it's become something special. My sister watches the draft now. My mom was taking interest in it. It's become such a big deal now. And it was the stories that drew them all into watching it. So, okay, guys. So that's all I got. Nothing significant in music to talk about. There is some music news. We're going to let Fish bring that up. So we'll just turn the rest of the show over to him. Take it away, Fish.
All right, guys. So some pop culture stuff here. A few things, current stuff first. Just current things out there. So Ozark dropped on Friday. So it's the last portion of the last season on Netflix. I hope you get now, Keith. You're an Ozark fan, yeah?
Yes, I'm an Ozark fan. I'm a new Ozark fan. I got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, just incredible series. Stress and drama at every turn. Like I said, it keeps you on edge. Jason Bateman, again, it's well acted all the way around. All the characters are well acted, and I'm fully invested into it. I watched 3 episodes so far over the weekend. I think there's like 7 episodes in the last part of the season. So I will miss this series, and I'll probably watch another episode even yet tonight. So if you're one out there that's like everybody's telling you to watch Ozark, you watch Ozark, watch it. Watch the first episode, season 1. If that doesn't draw you in, it's not your thing. That's okay. But if it sucks you in, you're in.
I was one of those people. I got tired of hearing about it, and I said, "Let me check it out." And I tell you what, I'm like, "Wow, what I've been missing, man, all this time. Amazing show."
Absolutely.
I got so many things on my list to catch up with right now. I've been wanting for years to rewatch Game of Thrones. And my sister overheard me and my nephew talking about it. She finally said, "Let me see what the big hubbub is about." And she was like, "Well, why don't you watch it with me so you can kind of tell me what's going on? I can pause it. You can explain what's going on." And that made it fun for me. I'm actually enjoying this because I'm learning more. So this has been fun. That's kind of been our thing the last couple of weeks. Sit down and watch 3 episodes of Game of Thrones a night. So definitely want to get finished up on my Ozark. Great show. Skidder?
Very nice.
Any thoughts on Ozark? You haven't seen it yet, have you?
Who, me?
Yeah, you an Ozark fan?
Oh, dude, I've been waiting for that season, the last 9 episodes to drop on Friday. Yeah, I've actually watched the first 3.5 seasons twice now. I watched it at first by myself, and then I finally said, Marcy, you got to watch this show. I know you're going to like it. And she was like you. She got hooked on the very first show, and we just got seasons 1, 2, 3, and then the first 9 episodes of season 4. She finished last night, actually, was number 9. So number 10, which is the first drop for this week, we'll be starting on that. So she finally caught up to me. But yeah, this show was just amazing from start to finish. We're talking about all the actors, even the kid actors that are in this, do a fantastic job. The one character named Ben, which is Wendy's brother. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love the actor that played that role. And I'm not going to spoil it for those that haven't seen the show yet, but what he did to make us believe what his problem was absolutely short of phenomenal to me. He's probably one of my favorite characters or actors portraying a character on that show. You remember who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the same actor, by the way, is on that new Outer Range series I mentioned with Josh Brolin, excuse me.
He's in that one too?
Yes, he is. He plays one of Josh Brolin's. Yeah, very good on that as well.
What else you got, Fish?
All right, so I saw a new movie last evening with Dean and Megan, the new Nick Cage movie, as I mentioned earlier. So it is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, it's called. So Nick Cage plays like a parody of himself. His career is struggling in the movie. Can't seem to get a role, and he gets offered an opportunity to go out to a rich guy's birthday party, make some money. He takes the offer. Neil Patrick Harris plays his manager in the movie, and then the guy he goes out to see is the actor who plays the Mandalorian. Pasquale, let me get it right here. Yeah. Sorry. It is Pedro Pascal plays
yes.
Tiffany Haddish is in it, Sharon Horgan. Again, a lot of good performances in here. A lot of fun, goofy. If you like Nick Cage at all, like Nick Cage movies, you will love this. There's scenes where Nick Cage is interacting with a young version of himself, like a de-aged version of Nick Cage, giving him advice. They have clips of old Nick Cage movies peppered throughout the film. So definitely recommended. A lot of fun. Good runtime as well, like an hour and 40 minutes. So check that out.
Definitely would check that out. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny you were talking about Nick Cage. I actually watched Con Air again, refamiliarized myself with that movie from 1997. And boy, yeah. I tell you what, the actors couldn't believe how many was in that show.
Sure.
From John Cusack to John Malkovich. Yep. Of course, Nick Cage was in it. Dave Chappelle was in the movie. Ving Rhames, Steve Buscemi, a couple others. There's one guy that just Monica Potter, Danny Trejo. I mean, that is an A-list movie from 1997, and I think it holds its time. Couple awkward things when it comes with the aircraft itself, but for the most part, pretty fantastic movie, and to have that kind of cast and that diverse of a cast was pretty neat.
There you go. So the nice Con Air rating for you, folks. 97. There you go.
1997.
There you go.
There's your GenX spin.
All right. Okay. We had a couple unfortunate passings in the world of pop culture over the weekend. We had, I'm not laughing at the passings, I'm laughing at Keith laughing.
Oh, I'm laughing at the text I sent Skinner, but go ahead.
Naomi Judd passed away over the weekend. So, poor lady, it was one day before she was going to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame.
No.
Yes. So she was going to get inducted on Sunday, and she passed away Saturday, 76 years of age. They went ahead and honored her at the awards. They didn't go into detail, but they say that they lost her to the disease of mental illness. So very, very sad. So she had been married for 32 years. The Judds sold more than 20 million albums, comprised of mother-daughter Naomi and Winona. Often celebrate. I mean, we know who the Judds are, and certainly in our generation. So I'm not a big country music fan per se, but certainly aware of the Judds and their impact on country music. So just a very sad thing over the weekend. So, Keith, any thought on Naomi Judd or the Judds in general?
Very sad. I don't have any songs that I know there, but the Judds, wasn't like a fan. I knew who they were, totally dug them. And I thought they were refreshing when they came out for country music. They were totally something new and different.
Yes.
Even Ashley Judd, I dig her. I love her in the movie. So much respect to see a mother and daughter team out there. And it's just very, very sad to hear.
Absolutely. Very rare to have a mother and daughter have achieved the success.
Yeah, I dug them. I didn't know any song. I mean, I remember the songs back in the day, but I wasn't a huge fan. But I totally dug them.
Yeah, Keith, any thoughts on the Judds or Naomi Judd, sir?
You already asked me.
I said Keith Skinner.
And he asked again.
Jeez.
I don't have much more to add. Yeah, that was a unique duo in country music, in any genre for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
But a very popular, very talented family with Ashley Judd. You guys mentioned her. She's a great actress. Just sad that she passed away just before she was going to be honored the way she was. But they were good for country music. I didn't particularly care for the music much, but they were good for country music.
But you know what, Skinner? I had said the same thing. Too bad, right before she were about to receive the introduction to the Hall of Fame, which she hadn't even realized it.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, they were going to go on tour again. They were set to go on another tour.
Wow.
Yeah. So
okay.
I don't know. So yeah, poor lady. All right. Skinner's going to, by the way, stay around. He's going to give us a review of Face Off later in the episode.
Oh, there's another good one.
Well. Okay. So just stay tuned for that. Our friend
of football show, Darius Boggs, would be so proud of us talking about Nick Cage.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I watched Next today with Nick Cage. I watched that today. Remember where you could see 2 minutes into the future?
Oh, that's right.
I watched that today. Yep.
Oh, my God. Yep. Hey. It's hard not to like Nick Cage, that's for sure. Okay, we also lost a iconic comic book artist over the weekend. Neal Adams passed away at age 80. Now, if you don't know the name, you definitely will know the artwork in our generation if you grew up reading DC or Marvel comics. So, especially he was known for his work on Batman. So, look him up. Just look up some of his cover art, and you'll recognize his style. He was known for making it like more of a modern look of a superhero. These guys were cut. They would get beat up.
Uh-huh.
They would have blood dripping from their wounds and stuff.
Yeah.
So he was an icon in the 60s and 70s. He even started his own comic book company for a while. So, but again, he's known for a lot of stuff. I don't know if you guys remember now. Like one thing is, remember that huge that was like Superman fought Muhammad Ali. Remember that cover, that iconic?
Oh gosh, yes.
Oh yeah,
that was him.
Superman was beat up. Okay, yeah, you know his work.
That was him. Like I said, look him up, Neal Adams. Like I said, you'll definitely recognize his work. It's the 70s looking back. Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go, right there. He's holding it up on video. So, I guess he also did some Marvel stuff with X-Men, and so He has 3 kids. All 3 of his kids are also comic book artists. They definitely followed in their dad's footsteps. So, yeah, without you just think about that. Without guys like him, you just wonder if the comic book if it would have survived long. I don't know. It's just but he was definitely quintessential to create interest in the medium. Just like I said, I just went back and looked through a lot of his stuff over the weekend. It's
that's what I'm doing right now, Fish. I'll tell you what, I didn't know who he was by name, and when you just said the Muhammad Ali, I'll never forget seeing that. Those guys made you interested in comics because of these covers they made.
Yes.
The covers sometimes didn't tell the true story, but they certainly lured you in. And I remember seeing Superman beat up on the front cover, which confused me. Like, I got to figure out how is this possible, And if I remember correctly, I think his powers were stripped. He had to fight Muhammad Ali or something like that, or they were somewhere with a red sun.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, okay. So the covers were iconic. But I will say this, though. I find it interesting being a comic book guy who I don't know any of the DC guys by name. I don't know why that is, especially knowing who this guy's work is. Now, I know his work, but I can name off a bunch of Marvel guys, from Jim Lee to Silvestri to, list goes on and on.
Sure.
Little thought.
Yeah, I don't know why that is either. I'm with you. I don't know. Maybe it's just the era that we like. I read DC more as a kid.
Or
I
maybe
think
DC
perhaps
don't promote their artists like Marvel does.
Maybe. Skin, are you familiar with Mr. Adams' works? Or
I am just the same. Yeah, I'm familiar with his work. As soon as you said the Ali cover, I knew exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm looking at here some of the stuff that he's got out there. It's pretty amazing. That guy was talented beyond belief. With the early Batmans and the early Superman covers that he did was just short of amazing.
Yes, and he once drew a picture of Nick Cage.
Yep.
Nick Cage pulling his face off, right? And
yeah.
Yeah, he drew like Vampira and Conan and just like, man, just so much stuff. So much stuff here. So
those guys did wonders for the world of fantasy. I mean, when you the build on these people we thought were unattainable but unbelievable, and now we got people today walking around looking like some of these people. So it's great,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. So rest in peace, Mr. Adams, for sure. You definitely made a positive impression on us as kids, and like you say, definitely sparked a lot of interest in comics. So yeah. Like you said, without guys like that, who knows if the movies would be there? Who knows? So anyway, all right. So getting into some more of a nostalgia stuff as well. This movie turns. It's hard to believe. 25 years ago, right around this time, movie spoofing James Bond came out, starring the wonderful Mike Myers. Austin Powers, the first Austin Powers movie, was released right around this time, 25 years ago. So now they're kind of going back and interviewing Mike Myers about it and some of the other folks that are still alive. There's rumors that they may make another one. You might remember on this past Super Bowl, Mike Myers came back to reprise the role of Dr. Evil in one of the commercials. So there's definitely still a kind of an interest in that. So I was a big I was and am a big James Bond fan. So when this movie came out, I just thought it was terrific. I thought it was a great parody of James Bond, just the whole thing about, making fun of the ridiculous ways that they would, try to. His son would be like, "Why don't you just shoot him?"
Right. The
He's
simplicity
like, no,
of it.
You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't understand.
Or why are you taking time to tell me your whole evil plan? Well,
That's right.
Instead of just killing me, you know what I'm saying?
The whole thing of the Dr. Evil was kind of a parody of Lorne Michaels from SNL. It's basically him imitating Lorne Michaels as a villain
I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's the whole Dr. Evil thing. So I don't know. They made a couple of sequels, which
He was
none of these.
Wasn't he Blofeld from the James Bond movies too?
He's a parody of Blofeld for sure. Yeah, so definitely spoofing the whole James Bond franchise in the '60s. I don't know. I thought it was cool, very entertaining. So, Keith, what do you think of Austin Powers? Are you a fan of that movie? What do you think about?
I love the movies when they came out. It's funny. There are a lot of people who enjoy comedies or enjoy Mike Myers, and they watch those movies and they like them, but they really don't even understand how much they're missing because they may not watch James Bond movies or something like that to understand some of the subtle humor.
Yep, that's right.
And they're not getting half of how really actually funny it is. And that was the strength of the movies. If you were a friend of the James Bond series and things like that, it's the subtle teases of the stuff that we were told to swallow watching a James Bond movie. You know what I'm saying? And that was great. Also, he introduced a whole different style of a hero. He had the bad teeth, and the language, and words like "I'm Randy, baby." It was just. I mean, it was just great stuff, man. I loved every bit of it.
Yeah, Skinner, Austin Powers fan.
I did watch them. I wasn't as true a fan as probably you two might have been, but I'm a big Mike Myers fan. That guy's fantastic from all the work that he did. Especially, he was one of the.
And the movie with Nick Cage.
Yeah,
he might have been.
I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank on the one movie with Garth.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Yeah. That movie. Kind of along the same lines, spoofing a lot of different things, and definitely want to go back and revisit those movies again.
Yeah, he definitely. Go ahead.
Nothing. Where would you rank him as far as SNL successes?
Well, he's got to be up there. I mean, you talk about as far as an SNL talent that made multiple movies. You forget about some of his movies, but his movies are way up there as far as entertainment and money making. You think about.
We know who the king is. That would be Eddie Murphy.
Probably from all time box office and movie.
And Chevy's in there.
But Mike Myers had, he obviously had the Austin Powers. He had So I Married an Axe Murderer. He had the Wayne's World movies. Then he had Shrek. Obviously, was a huge. He is Shrek.
And he's got a lot of voices too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just I like his movies more than top to bottom than a lot of the other guys that went on from SNL. That's for sure. So, 25. I have to go back and I actually have the box set upstairs. I have to go back and relive that. He definitely created a pop culture character. That's for sure. The Halloween costumes and the whole bit. Austin Powers. You can find them today. As a matter of fact.
Isn't that something?
Okay, so not a whole lot else really as far as current stuff that really sparked my interest in. But let's go back in time. Let's do more nostalgia type. So back in this week in pop culture history, obviously we already talked about Mike Myers. Back in 1983, on May the 1st, a miniseries V debuted on NBC. I remember watching this as a kid. It was like the aliens were, I think they're taking over the earth, and it was like a band of humans that were fighting back or something like that. It was the whole resistance to the aliens, V for victory type deal. People were like spraying the V on walls and stuff as kind of this whole movement to kind of retake the earth or something along that line. It's been such a long time since I've seen it, probably in 83, frankly, when it was on. But I remember being very excited for this and watching every episode, and I remember at the time really enjoying it. So, Keith, do you remember V in 83?
As a sci-fi nut growing up, when this came out, couldn't get enough of it. Just the realism of, they've invaded the earth and, looking like us. And you hear this kind of talk around today that certain people are lizards.
Sure.
The queen's a lizard. So who knows, are imitating life or vice versa, but I couldn't get enough of it. And I don't know if you guys have seen the remake.
No, I did not.
Oh my God.
I didn't know they had a remake.
I don't know why this got canceled. They redid it a few years ago.
Okay.
Oh my God. Unbelievable, dude. The effects, the storyline. It was so incredible. The show I told you guys about, I don't know if you got a chance to check out Endgame.
Not yet.
No, that was Cooper. Cooper said him and Amy started watching it. They love it. But the main character in Endgame, she played the head of the aliens. But they remade it. I don't know where it is. I'll see if I can find it on the internet here. But it is spectacular. So yeah, I remember V. Great stuff.
Very good. Skinner, V, you're a couple years behind us, so you might be too young.
I'm trying to look here to spark a memory, and I just don't remember it at all.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
That's okay. This next thing I'm sure you do remember, back in May the 1st, back in 1999, this iconic pop culture character made his debut on Nickelodeon after the 1999 Kids' Choice Awards. That was the debut of Spongebob for the very first time back in 99, May the 1st. Can't believe it's been that long already. So Spongebob was definitely, my daughter was born in 2000, so she definitely grew up with a lot of Spongebob, and we talked about him on prior episodes, but I instantly became a fan. As soon as I started watching James Bond again, SpongeBob with Peyton, I loved it. I just thought it was like a smart cartoon, if you will. He was so positive and optimistic. It just was inspiring in that respect. That he always found a way to see the positive in every situation that he was in. I had SpongeBob pajamas, matching pajamas with Peyton, T-shirts. I just thought he was terrific. So still a fan to this day. The movies were great, a lot of fun. So just a great new cartoon character introduced in our lifetime. It's been a lot of fun here. So are you guys fans of SpongeBob, Keith?
How old is Peyton?
Peyton is 21.
Okay, so Steele's 24. So he didn't he wasn't like a huge SpongeBob fan. I love the show, but I got to the point where I realized this isn't really for kids. There's a lot of adult themes in that show snuck in there.
Yep.
So I think SpongeBob, if I'm not wrong, I think that was the beginning of the new kind of cartoon.
Yep.
I don't know how to word it, how to explain it, but cartoons kind of changed with SpongeBob. It became this more satirical type of humor, some adult themes thrown in there. It wasn't your silly Scooby-Doo stuff, even though they said some stuff too back then. But I remember that being very, very different, the way they talked, the things they did. And I was like, wow, this type of cartoon is actually going to make kids smarter. Because just the way they're talking, it isn't all silly, goofy, gooey. But I was a kind of fan of SpongeBob too.
Very good. Skinner, SpongeBob, you probably had it in your household, yeah?
Oh yeah, as much as I despise the theme song of that damn show.
No, come on.
It didn't keep the kids from wanting to watch it. Yeah, I agree with Porter. It did change, I think, cartoons the way we see it. There's another one called Rugrats came along about that same time.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of adult innuendos, a lot of things keeping the adults interested.
And Nicolas Cage was in that too. He was a kid.
But SpongeBob definitely changed the cartoon world, I think.
Yeah, Nickelodeon at the time, they definitely ushered in a whole new wave, like you say, of it, just a different tone of cartoons with those that you mentioned already, Dexter's Laboratories, all kinds of stuff that came out on Nickelodeon.
Remember, was it Doug?
Yep.
Yeah, Doug.
Doug, Hey Arnold, and
I love Hey Arnold.
Of stuff. Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
So that sounds like a top 5 subject for one of our future episodes we're going to do. I think it's top 5 cartoons. We need to add that to our list.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That'd be interesting to see.
All right, so long live SpongeBob. Okay, we're shooting this on May the 2nd. On this day, back in 2008, movie came out that changed really changed Hollywood, frankly. And what are big films today? 2008 was the debut of the first Iron Man movie with Robert Downey Jr. That movie definitely set the tone of all these Marvel movies we have today. It was the first of the storyline of all these movies that we've loved for so many years. And what a way to start the franchise out. I mean, I know you guys agree. Robert Downey Jr. was just absolutely amazing as Tony Stark. I mean, the second he was on the screen, the very first scene, he was captivating. He embodied that role perfectly. It was well acted. It was well directed. And it was obviously a huge, huge hit for Marvel Studios and definitely paved the way for all these movies that we have today and the millions and billions of dollars that it's generated for Marvel Studios. And still to this day, of all the superhero movies that's ever been out there, it is still probably my top 3 to 5. 3 anyways, I'm sure. Just fantastic. So, thoughts on the first Iron Man, Keith?
We need a whole show for this guy.
Sure.
Listen, there's so many ways to look at this. First of all, I love hearing the stories of how people didn't want Robert Downey Jr., but Jon Favreau went to bat for him and insisted. Yes. I don't know if the Marvel Universe would be where it is right now if it not only they got Robert Downey Jr. to play this part, but it was the first movie to captain the ship of their phase 1. Mm-hmm. Talk about hitting it out of the park. I love when a movie just everything's perfect about a movie. The casting, the story, and the one of the most important elements of a movie that I don't think gets enough credit, the music. You know, when you play the right kind of music for certain scenes, oh my God, the first Transformers, the music was unbelievable in that movie. You know, a lot of Linkin Park and things like that. But this movie just had it. You know, when he first went over to the Gomera, you know, to help the refugees over there, and then then there was a little Iron Man in there. I mean, it was just, man, they just hit it out the park with this movie, and he is the catalyst for all of their success. Iron Man, that character, and he got so big they couldn't do anything but kill him. I thought it was the right move to do because it had just run its course. It had did everything for them in order for them to move on and grow. They had to kill him. Phase 5, I think it's Phase 5 starting this weekend. Well, it kind of already started, but the new Doctor Strange is coming, and you got Thor: Love and Thunder right after that. So one of my favorite top 3 guaranteed of all time. This is as far as an origin movie, you know, you got to kind of sit through a lot of, you know, story stuff. This, you were into it from start to finish.
Absolutely. Skinner?
Yeah, I can't say much more. I've got it as my number 1 out of all the Marvel movies.
Sure.
Captain America Winter Soldier is number 2 for me. Yeah. Kind of partial because I was on the stage or on the scene up there in Cleveland. It was being produced and filmed here in Cleveland, Ohio. But Robert Downey Jr., you can't say enough what that man meant to not only the Iron Man character, but what he meant for all the superheroes that came after that. I can't imagine another actor out there that could have played the part any better than he did for Tony Stark. So, yeah, you asked me number 1 out of all the superheroes, it's Iron Man 1, and I'll watch it 100 times before I die. Right, and still not get tired of it.
Skinner, how about being happy for the fact that Robert Downey Jr.? I mean, his life really was a mess for a while.
Oh, he was a train wreck.
And to see where, you know, this did wonders for him. Really happy for him and his success. Putting it at number 1, I got like a clump. I just can't, you know, I got the first Iron Man, I got the first Avengers, and of course I got Endgame and the one before Endgame. And I'm with you. I love the Winter Soldier and I love Civil War. It's kind of hard to But yeah, this was a home run.
Absolutely. And Jeff Bridges, one of the best villain of
absolutely.
any Marvel movie, in my opinion. Super well acted. Loved his look. The whole thing was
He was
terrific.
a character, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we could do a whole show just on Marvel.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, May the 3rd, so tomorrow is the birthday of an inventor, Ron Popeil.
Oh,
And
wow.
if you might not be familiar with the name, but you definitely know the company. That's right, the company he founded, Ronco. So we definitely grew up hearing a lot of Ronco commercials. But wait, there's more. And then the rotisserie. Set it and what?
Forget it.
You said it.
Set it and forget it.
And we'll also, if you call now, we'll throw in.
That's right. That's right. I did not realize we missed it last year, but the poor man passed away last July 28th, 2021. He was, I think he was 80 years old, something like that. So just, anyway, yeah, so definitely in our lifetime, we grew up hearing Ronco commercials.
Closest thing to an infomercial.
Yeah.
And we thought because it had to be real because it was on TV. So it had to be incredible, you know?
Absolutely. The Chop-O-Matic, the Veg-O-Matic, the shell egg scrambler, in the shell egg scrambler. Like I said, the rotisserie we talked about. So many products. And they were good products.
Yes.
You know? So
beef jerky machine. I'm looking at all the products that got Ronco.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's
tons
sickening.
Of stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely. Think about the dichotomy of how you had to send in a check or call and do something on the phone to how easy things are now, you know? You could be sitting in the middle of a freaking, massage or mud bath or something and order 10 things off Amazon in 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm thinking Ronco was even before Home Shopping Network, wasn't it?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of the time frame. Yeah.
He was smart. He understood the using the commercial to, I mean, he took it to a whole other level with these products. The whole scene on TV type stuff. He was definitely one of the early pioneers. No, there was
no cable. Yeah,
not yet. Yeah, you see it if you watch Channel 43, local up in Lorraine, Cleveland. I mean, you definitely saw your share of Ronco commercials. That's for sure. So yeah, if you're our generation, you know who Ronco was. And we're just about out of time, but I'll make a quick mention on May the 6th, already back in 2013. Now, we're in the Northeast Ohio area. Cleveland is only like 40 minutes north of us. We're here in Akron, Ohio. That was the day that those poor 3 women that were kidnapped for so many years up in Cleveland. The House of Horrors with Ariel Castro. Kidnapped these poor women and kept them prisoners in his home for many, many years. And one of the girls got out, or was able to call for help or something like that while he was gone. And a couple neighbors came over and helped break her free, including Charles Ramsey. So if you were in this area, you definitely remember, if you saw a picture of Mr. Ramsey, you would know who I'm talking about here. Just some local Cleveland dude giving the thumbs up.
Quote,
Yeah, I got up. I just went to McDonald's, and came back with McDonald's, and I heard this girl screaming, and he helped break her free. And these poor ladies did get their freedom, and it was quite the story in this area. Terrible stuff. Not a very nice story, but it was at least glad that they were freed by some good Samaritans in the area. And then they arrested Castro, and then he wound up killing himself, I think, in prison, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely a huge story at the time in the Northeast Ohio area. Keith, you remember this? Obviously, we all remember this story.
You had to be in a coma if you lived in Northeast Ohio. You didn't hear this story, and I'm pretty sure it probably made some sort of national news.
Oh yeah,
this was every mother's, father's, anybody who had a daughter's worst nightmare. It was unbelievable that this could even happen, especially locally, so close to home to some people. you wonder, you try to figure out, how could this happen? How could they be captive for years? How could they not have signaled someone? How could they not? Your mind just gets blown, and you wonder how these girls are going to recover. And of course, we get to see one of them. I believe, is it Amanda on Channel 8 News? Every day she has a segment on there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I was looking her up. Actually,
she's doing great. Nice looking
Amanda
girl.
Berry.
Yeah, nice looking
Amanda
girl.
Berry. Yep.
Yeah, so just an amazing story.
Yep. Skinner.
Yeah, I remember, especially someone having 4 girls of my own. It was a story that really hit home with me.
I'll bet.
And to see them survive and become adults in society, and to see Amanda Berry, the way she's transformed right in front of our eyes, being on Fox 8. The other two kind of stayed away from the limelight, but Amanda Berry's doing some good on missing people, and I appreciate that she's taken her horror stories and tragedies and doing something good with it.
Right, and there's a great story on the internet of her and Charles Ramsey reuniting after 6 years.
Right.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, guys. Well, we are at the top of the hour here. Go ahead. You got one more thing, Keith? Go ahead,
a couple
please.
quick announcements I want to say. First of all, I just want to thank everybody who came out to the BPM show last Thursday at Lou's in Massillon. I can't tell you what it meant. They thought I was going to cancel when my mom had just passed. I knew I had to play or I was going to explode, and I told myself I was going to play for my mom. I played my butt off to the point where when I got home, I couldn't hardly move. I was shocked when I walked into that place, and it was standing room only on a Thursday. And I just want to thank everybody for coming out to the show. And so on June 4th at Roma's in Mogador, my band Mixed Nuts will be playing. I'm excited about this show. It's our second show in 3 years. I know Fisher's been out to see the band recently.
Yep.
So please come on out. We call ourselves a dance, fusion, funk, rock, party, country band. I mean, we play a little bit of everything, in our own style. So come on out to Roma's on June 4th to see Mixed Nuts.
Yeah, a lot of fun. You guys are really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
All right. Skinner?
Yep.
You want to take us out, please, sir?
Yep. Nice to see you back, my brother.
Nick Cage. Thank you, brother. Good to be back.
Glad to have you back. Miss you guys next week, sort of. But for Brian Fisher and Keith Porter, I am Michael Skinner. We're the guys from GenX. We appreciate you as always, and look for us next week. Take care.
So Nicolas Cage was born in...
Stay
Nick
strong,
Cage.
GenX.
Long live Nick Cage.
Good to be back, brothers.